we were playing up there to Willowbrook. They had sponsored that tournament. As a matter of fact, I think it was Dee Dee's tournament up there at Willowbrook that day. And Dee Dee was playing, and we had young Tommy Ward with us.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got on that last hole way out back where it goes straight down towards 81, and then she turns and goes right straight up like that. And there's all these pine trees. And, of course, George went out this way with his hook. And Dee Dee went out. She didn't make the fairway long, but she was close. And I shot, I hit the pine tree and bounded right down on the side, so we could have used mine to go up that way. So George told me, he says, Tommy, go ahead, waste it, see what you can do. And he was looking at them trees, and he said, well, I said, I think I'll use my father's tree wood. I said, I'll use that. He said, I get a little more climb on that. So I'm talking to Dee Dee, I said, watch this kid hit this ball. It was just, to watch him hit it. And he whacked that ball, and she went just like this.
Yeah.
And she just kept going like that. George said, I think he made it over. Of course, George, he'd run around like a bandy rooster.
Yeah.
Trying to see where the ball went. Dee Dee went, I can't believe it. Did you see how that ball kept climbing and climbing and climbing? Yeah. I said, I don't know what kind of English he had on it, but I said, I hope it's up there by the green. We got there 20 feet away.
Oh, jeez.
That ain't the bad part. The Indians see him do that. That won the tournament for 4 years in a row. He chips it in. They took the cup back. Mike Smoke and them guys in the building, and said, that's it. We see them out. Carter brought a ring on him out. And he was just graduating that year.
Yeah.
God, he could hit a ball. Couldn't he?
No, yeah.
Every time I try to go over something, usually that's when I have to bring another ball out of the bag. It never usually, no.
See, I'm arguing. We didn't grow up to become golfers.
No.
They had golf balls. You put a baseball bat in your hand, that's all you had. The kids today, they got the golf
That
ball.
hockey.
Yeah. Baseball, basketball. Yeah. We didn't have soccer where I grew up. Soccer was an afterthought.
Yeah.
Track was only because if you wanted to play football, you had to run track because the track coach and football coach are one and the same. So you didn't have a choice.
Yeah, sure. I was going to the bike fitters tournament down this week. I think I'm sick of calling his name for the longest drive. Weirs.
You shut this down.
His old man could play. They all can play now.
I never played with his father, but I used to take him to the tournaments with me. He married my niece, Shelby. And
You always should take somebody who's a hell of a lot better golfer than you are because that one makes you look good.
I like the captain and crew anyways.
Oh, I love that.
Well, anything the press want to add to this that we're giving you information on? Oh, okay. I'm going to get a quote in the paper for the kind of says Lindsay, you know what now.
I'm sure I have a real good credit in golf course for extra balls, just in case.
Okay, good. Thanks, Pat. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another board meeting here in regards to personnel. I got your packet, Wade, about violence in the workplace policy, whatever, and then why don't you just take us where you want us to go with it.
There's been a couple of changes in the draft policy since the initial mailing, so why don't we go ahead and I'll point out specifically what the changes are. Specifically under the workplace security measures, item number 1.
Alan didn't get his packet because he's on vacation. Roger, do you have one?
Sure. I mean, this is all publicly discussed stuff. So.
Yeah.
I'll wait until we get back to this. So. Item 1, go on with page 2. I'm sorry, item 1, top of page 2, workplace security measures deals with no weapons are permitted on the OBPA premises. However, there needed to be an exception. Specifically under the exemption section, that last sentence, the phrase OBPA employees included was added because we do have employees that do need to be on the airport, for example, with firearms. So we did need to have an exemption there. Another change is on point 4 and point 5. The revised reads, all public access doors will be locked after normal business hours. Point 5, all public access doors will be open during normal business hours.
Wait, let me stop you a second here, because you made a comment here, and I started thinking a little bit of where territorially are employees allowed to carry firearms.
We have a pest control procedure at the airport. Steve, would you like to comment on that at all?
Wildlife control. We've got the year-round permit to.
Okay, what I'm just saying is, okay, so they can't leave there and come here with a gun?
Well, they if they've got a gun in their truck and they're heading out the airport and they punched in here, they're going to be on our property. If you read it.
Yeah, okay, I just want to know.
It's specifically directed at the airport, yes.
Okay.
But what I didn't want to get into technicalities is that, they don't just go there, when they have a gun. Well, the way I'm looking at it, Sam, is that they've got a gun in their vehicle and they're going out early in the morning and either scaring or they've got a deer or geese or turkeys or something there that they've got to do something with. So
you don't leave the guns at the airport. That's what you're saying. Basically, they bring them in. Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to leave because you have to have some kind of a locked facility.
Yeah.
Like a safe or something like that.
And you report it, you take them there, you bring it back to the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, a good gun safe is you're talking a couple $1,000. Right. You got to have it heavy enough so somebody steal it on you.
Okay.
Did that answer?
Yeah, they don't make pistols either, do they?
Are you talking about scaring them or killing them?
But we do have a pistol that only shoots screamers and two types of blanks that are designed to scare them off too. We have that capability, but that's in a locked cabinet out at the airport.
So that's why it was necessary to have that exemption under point 1. The other change was on page 3, the employee action program section was eliminated from the draft. Employee assistance program, sorry. And that concludes the changes from the original. To back up a step to give you
Just one more change.
Wait, but it's very minor. Maybe it doesn't even need to be changed, but it's just reading this quickly. Under the education offerings, the very last sentence, of course, code and communication, blah, 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 are offered as 1 or 2 day seminars given by outside vendors. Can we just say are offered by outside vendors? There's a lot of take-home stuff, online stuff. It's not necessarily a seminar that you would go to.
Thank you for reminding me. There was actually that was the other change. That last sentence reads, similar course topics may be offered as 1 or 2 day seminars given by outside vendors.
Okay, they won't put the word may in there. They keep 1 or 2 day seminars in there? Okay.
Yes. Well, you might want to add webinars to it, too.
That's about
Stuff on the internet now that you provide with more state. I know we get a lot of it now through Bar Association if you've got the time. So you might want to just add the flexibility.
How about I suggest then seminars/webinars given by outside vendors? That way it covers it. Thanks, Mark. Okay. Backing up a step, why do we need this? This is important to mention. Section 27B of New York State labor law requires public employers, in this case the public authority, to have a workplace violence prevention policy and response procedure in place. Specifically, this has been promulgated through the New York State Register and became official back right before the end of May. This is our first board meeting since those regulations went into effect. Specifically, what this policy entails is zero tolerance, security measures, inspections, report violence, training programs, educational offerings, incident management, no retaliation, I should say, and outlines a workplace violence response procedure. And many thanks to both our counsel, Frank Capello, and also CSEA for their assistance in helping to put this policy together before you today.
The one thing you got to remember is to make sure your contact numbers are good. The people are there, the employees know who they're supposed to contact. 911 is about the best because you're right in the city. The police aren't that far away. So it's luckier than most. Most towns don't have police force. They have to call state police or the sheriff, and that takes me a while to get there. And the training. The one thing that worries me the most, and we got into doing this for the town constantly, understand, and some of the other municipalities, was these orders of protection that are issued by local judges, family court, Supreme Court, against no contact and stuff like that. An employee doesn't really have to give it to you. It would be very advisable if they had some fear, for some reason to be fearful because of the person in that order of protection. You should know what the restrictions are. Sometimes we won't mention workplace. It might mention home. It might mention school. It might mention a lot of things. But sometimes we leave our workplace. Hopefully they'll put it in. Because if you know, then it doesn't become the employee's responsibility. It becomes the employer's responsibility to say, you're not supposed to be on this project unless you have official business. You need to make sure that the employee and that person don't have any contact whatsoever. Which happen now. That's one thing. So I think educating our male and female employees who do best things, so they all understand. If they got one of these orders and they want us to help them be protected, we got to know about it.
Yeah, I think you hit it right there with the educating people, what you do, how you act, how things can be termed. But I think the employee assistance program is that coordination with the union and staff, wherever that somebody's troubled. How people get that information to somebody else, that everybody else knows that something's going on. So there's got to be some level of communication between those people that know what's going on, and so the proper people know that somebody's really troubled.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is not just external. This is for internal issues too.
Right.
A disgruntled internal employee.
Yeah.
Potential violence with another employee or something that may not have job relation at all. Could have occurred off the premises, but they have to be employed by us. You want to make sure that's reported that way.
Well, you think of the situation happened in Ohio where the troubled kid comes in the locker room and shoots the ex-coach. So people have a history of past. You just don't know when somebody's coming through the door. And it's like, what are the odds of that happening? It's astronomical, but it does happen. It does happen.
Well, all we can do is have a policy, make sure all the employees know about the policy, all the management staff have the policy, and then whatever education programs we can find, we make available. This is a self-help thing. It's the employees supposed to help us correct them. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I think we'd like to say in the bottom line is we create a excellent working environment so people are, I don't say you can't make people content, whatever how their financial affairs are, but some people, if you have an excellent working place and environment, it sure helps the way people are going to act and deal with certain things here, at least at work anyway. So,
Well, that's the thing. And we dealt with it way through the union. A lot of stuff that, quote, could have been agreements, never gets to be agreements because it's discussed and handled before it gets to that level.
Yeah. So are we going to read it this meeting coming?
This is up, if it's available to the committee, this would be put forth before the board tonight.
Tonight? Okay.
There is one additional change. The Ogdensburg City Police Department at the end of the document has got the telephone number there. Most appropriately, though, it should say or dial 911 on there as well.
Most of the people dial 911.
Yeah. Hit your mind first.
Hey, Wade, on the employee assistance program, we're going to have to establish some kind of framework.
Yes.
That's going to be after the policy. Some kind of a framework, and when an employee wants to talk to somebody else about a potential problem. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to set that up.
Good point. Thank you, Frank.
Good?
Yeah.
Good. Don you make the motion, Don, and bring it to the full board? I'll second that.
Okay. The next item requires an executive session to discuss individual personnel.
Right in the head.
Surprise. It's just a
April flowers. Or
April,
Okay, who wants to make a motion?
Somebody's doing a good day.
I like that motion. Then we went down to...
Now, second to go to executive session, Don?
Friday, Saturday,
Second, Don.
Friday, Saturday weren't so hot. Sunday was a good day.
Sunday was okay.
The one,
Yeah, it is.